Hello, let us discuss the interreligious or interfaith dialogue. It is different from the ecumenical dialogue. The ecumenical dialogue happens between different Christian groups who try to restore the unity that they had once upon a time in the past. As a result of various divisions, quarrels, controversies, theological controversies, the unity was disturbed, the church unity was disturbed, Christianity became fragmented, and the purpose of the ecumenical dialogue is to defragment Christianity, as it were, to restore its unity. The purpose of the interfaith dialogue, however, is different. It's not so much to restore unity between the doctrines, which are quite different, but to facilitate their peaceful coexistence, to help them to live together in harmony without causing violence, a sort of violence that the Americans experienced in 2001 during the terrorist attacks in New York City and in Washington, D.C. Finding mutual understanding, finding a common ground for peaceful coexistence should be the focus of the interreligious dialogue, especially in the American context. In the American context, I believe the interfaith dialogue should be focused primarily on the dialogue between the so-called Abrahamic religions, meaning Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Their common ground could and should be the idea of one God, especially given that this idea was crucially important in the time when these religions emerged. When Christianity emerged in the Roman Empire, the majority of the Romans, of the people of the empire, were pagans, were polytheists. They believed in many gods. Christianity came out of Judaism, and Judaism constituted also a religious minority in the Roman Empire. So the monotheists, either Jewish or Christians, were a minority amidst the pagan majority, and they had to struggle. They had to constantly prove their right to exist. And sometimes they had to sacrifice their lives to witness their faith in one God. That's how the persecutions and the martyrs happened in both Judaism and Christianity. I should say that martyrs is not just a Christian phenomenon. Martyrs existed even before Christians in Judaism. There were first Jewish martyrs, and the Christian martyrs followed the model of the Jewish martyrs. The Greek word martyr means a witness. So martyrs witnessed their belief in one God. This was the core of the beliefs of the Christian and Jewish minorities in the Roman Empire before its conversion to Christianity. When in the beginning of the 7th century Islam emerged, it followed a similar pattern. Islam did not emerge on the Roman soil. It appeared on the Arabian Peninsula, on the lands claimed by the Persian Empire, amidst the Arabian tribes, the majority of which were polytheists. So Islam emerged also as a small monotheistic group amidst a polytheistic majority. And early Muslims had to fight to prove their cause of one God. And they also had martyrs that witnessed the belief in one God, had to pay with their blood for that witness. those martyrs are called in Arabic shahids. The word shahid in the modern context sounds dubious. It is associated quite often with terrorists and with the terrorist attacks. Indeed, those episodes of religious violence, like terrorist attacks, which, by the way, are committed not just by Muslim fanatics, but also by other religious fanatics from other religious groups, including Christian groups, they radically differ from the original martyrs. There is a difference between the terrorists who commit crimes in the name of their religion and the martyrs, even though, superficially speaking, there is a similarity between them because both sacrifice life. They differ in what kind of life they sacrifice. Christian martyrs sacrificed their own life to prove their point of one God and that Jesus Christ is a true God. The religious terrorists, they sacrifice their own life, but also the life of other people. They kill themselves, but they also kill other people. That is the most important difference between the martyrs and terrorists. Let us come back shortly to the idea of the Abrahamic religion. As I said, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam are believed to be Abrahamic religions. Why Abrahamic? They resemble the faith of Abraham in at least two major ways. And Abraham, for all three religions, is a major prophet, a father of faithful. First, Abraham believed in one God, unlike the majority of people in his environment, beyond his family, who believed in many gods. So Abraham had really to struggle to maintain his faith in one God, not to assimilate with the polytheistic majority around him. And second, Abraham was alone. He was a minority among the polytheistic majority. So the Abrahamic religions, they in the same way confess one God, which is a common ground for them, confessing one God. And they also began as minority religions, minority groups, who had to struggle to make their points, to prove what they believe, sometimes by sacrificing the life of their martyrs. Speaking about the dialogue between the Abrahamic religions nowadays, we should remember both sides of the Abrahamic identity of the monotheistic religion. First one is that those religions believe in one God, and this is not to be taken for granted. It is something which should be treasured, should be valued, and should constitute a platform for our mutual respect. And second is that the Abrahamic faith originally was a minority faith, a faith of a small group of people who had to fight for it, who had to really to protect their faith. And this made them respecting other monotheists, other people who believed in one God. Let us imagine nowadays that we are still those minority groups, Christians, Jews, and Muslims. We are still those vulnerable and fragile groups who need support of each other in sustaining the faith in one God. I believe this might be a very helpful and healthy platform for our interfaith dialogue.